In terms of self-awareness, how would one know if they're self-aware? I think there's a lot of lack of awareness out there,
Absolutely.
that people are naturally very stuck in their mind. So how could we decide? How would I know if I'm self-aware? Is it because I'm taking my attention out of my
Mm,
mind into the body, and because I'm holding my attention there, that I can pick up quicker when I'm under stress because I can feel the tension there?
mhm.
But if we're caught up in day to day living and all of our focus is in our head and we're putting our attention outwards, because most of our attention is going outwards, very seldom do we bring our attention
Yeah.
inwards. And I think females I think they are more self aware. I think they are more in tune with their body than men. I think men's analytical capacity, I don't know, maybe
No,
I'm
no, no. I
totally
think you're
wrong
you're
there.
you're definitely right. Yeah.
So to become self-aware, what would be a practice for somebody who isn't self-aware? Would it be just to tune in every now and again, just to take their attention out of their body and just even to put their attention into their hand and hold their attention there and to feel what's the temperature of the air
Yeah.
around the hand, what bodily
Yeah.
sensations are there? Maybe bring attention as far as their elbow. And again, they're taking attention into the body and then over to the shoulder, across the chest, into the
Mm.
abdomen. And it's a very useful thing to do. We talk about breath aware, but body awareness, that if you go for a walk, don't just go for a walk with your head, dispersing attention throughout the body, that you can pick up on
Yeah.
things. Do you think people sometimes naturally do this, or is this something that we have to
So I
train?
think that we do have this naturally built into us, but because of such a high level of compounding stress, we move away from it and we lose that connection. So the scientific term, if anybody is wondering, is a term called interoception. And interoception is all about being able to identify how our body is manifesting and responding to what's going on within our environment. So, for instance, interoception would be able to connect with your breathing without you having to conscientiously like say, I'm going to now connect with my breathing. That's a great way to do it initially. But the more and more we condition that response, the more and more we naturally become more in tune with that. Another one would be heart rate. So kind of even being able to feel that sensation of a heart rate increase or decrease. Some people are really good at that. And some people used to be really good at that and maybe aren't so great because things divert our attention. We say, oh, well, I don't have time to deal with my stress because like I don't really know what to do with it right now. So what do? We just kind of take it, we compress it, we bottle it up. Another really big one would be one that you mentioned before, which is muscular tension. And for males, this happens a lot. Tension in the traps, tension in the shoulders, tension in the chest. So interoception would be all about like, how can I use all of these signals? Because these are signals within the body. Our body it wants to save us. Like it wants to self-preserve. It does not want us to be eaten by the mountain lion. It does not want us to be attacked by work. Like it wants us to thrive. So it will send these signals. We just have to tune into them. And it's going to be different for everybody, right, Patrick? For me, I am so in tune with my heart rate, like very interoceptive to my heart rate because I've done a lot of training in heart rate variability so that I know, like, I don't even have to place my fingers. Like, if anybody's watching this on video, I don't have to place my fingers on my carotid artery. Like, I just feel it. And that, again, that takes time. I think what I've noticed, which is really interesting in working with kids, is kids, they have not been tainted by a lot of the stressors and compounding stressors of life. Most of them, not all of them. I mean, people grow up differently. But one thing that they're really good at is being very interoceptive. But a lot of the adults that I meet, especially middle-aged adults, are really bad at interoception. They don't notice when their heart rate's increasing. They don't notice the amount of muscular tension. They don't notice them breathing up, thoracically or even clavically, like in their shoulders. Like they just don't notice it. So a lot of it is finding ways to, number one, be very conscientious of it, and you have to use your volition to kind of focus in on that. But then again, the more you do it, just like any principle in psychology, the more you're going to condition a response so that you don't have to think as much conscientiously about it. It just happens. Like your attention's just drawn to it. So like if I'm stressed, yes, I love the idea of leveraging technology to look at heart rate variability during the day. But I also too, if I'm stressed, like I will just feel it. Like I'll feel it in my heart. And I know that might sound like a little bit like esoteric or nebulous, but it's not. Like I like literally feel my heart rate change. So it's a lot of it's just being kind of, taking the time to condition the response to be self-aware to those small little things that seem micro, but they're actually macro. They are signaling systems. And if we view them as signaling systems that are there to help prevent injury and to save us, then I think it's a better way of conceptualizing like why it would be important to tune into those things throughout the day. Does that make sense on how I explain that?
Yeah, totally. We should be calling it The Lost Art of Self-Awareness.
I love it. It's our new book. We'll have to bring James and Esther on there. You talked about the lost art of breathing.
That's it.
Now we can all three write a book on the lost art of self-awareness. And it's huge though. No, it's true. All right, Patrick. Thanks for listening to the Hanu Health Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. This podcast would not happen without listeners and supporters like you. And the best way to support us and the show is to head on over to iTunes and provide us with a 5-star review. This helps us reach others and spread the good word of breathing and stress resiliency. If we read your 5-star review on air, please reach out to podcast@hanuhealth.com with your name and mailing address, and we will send you some sweet Hanu gear. Until next time, breathe better and stress less.